All right, hello everyone, and welcome to a game. This is going to be an Undead versus Undead matchup. TBCBM versus Happy here on Twisted Meadows. TBCBM spawning as the blue Undead at what I will call the 5 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we see I Love Candies, also known as Happy, spawning as the red Undead. Excuse me, I saw this Undead versus Undead matchup, and I was really looking forward to it. Yeah, it's just really interested and really enjoyed it. So we'll see how everything goes here. The reason why I like Undead versus Undead is the fact that you can actually see Lich first. The strategy you do not get to see in in any of the other matchups really, unless someone is just trying to troll or just trying to give themselves a bit of a handicap. And well, I guess today is a little bit of a bonus cast for me, just because yesterday was absolutely crazy and busy setting up everything. So let's see what's going to be unfolding here. It is going to be a crypt, ziggurat, graveyard. There is that altar of darkness. Altar of darkness is a bit delayed though, so that could be Death Knight with Crypt Fiends, or it could be a Tavern Hero. Most likely it is Death Knight versus Crypt Fiends though. Wow, I'm glad you got to catch my streaming from Australia. That is one of the reasons why I decided to stream right here, right now, because I know a lot of people, are probably sleeping during the times I normally stream. So, Bolo King, thank you very much for joining from Australia. Well, yeah. Always nice to have new viewers talking to me live. It makes things a little bit interesting for me as well, since sometimes I'll be honest with you, sometimes the games are a little bit slow and not entertaining, and my mind starts to wander. I'm just talking about protecting the intensity of the flavors, random statements like that. I'm like, you know what, I don't even know what I'm saying, and I'm trying to build all this energy up into the game, and sometimes the game is, a little bit flat, and at that point, you guys say, you know what, this game's not interesting, I don't like Crota, whatever. You guys go ahead and check out another game. There are a lot of other streams out there that you guys can definitely tune into as well. Anyways, game taking a little bit longer to get to the exciting parts, as both players are gonna be getting their Death Knight out at about the 2-minute 45-second mark. So no creeping, a lot of units. It looks like, well, it looks like a rather strange opening there. What's your opinion about WarCraft War 3 Remastered? When do you think it will be released, and I'll throw in when? I think WarCraft 3 needs a little bit more balance before they try to focus on the remastering right now. The reason why I say that, beautiful use of the long distance here, making it so that units are constantly engaging and then backing off. This is pretty much free damage on this creep camp, and that's one of the ways you can maximize. You can see all the units are making their way forward and then back, forward and back, and by doing so, you can see that TBCBM is going after a creep camp that is normally saved for when you have more than just 2 Crypt Fiends, and he's going after this with, well, fairly minimal losses. You can take a look. Ogre Magi gonna get taken down, picking up a Ring of Protection +3. There goes the Ogre Warrior, and then finally the remaining 2 creep camps here. However, he is gonna be a bit in the red coming back in from the other side, as Happy, well, he's doing a lot of creeping himself. He hasn't suffered nearly as much damage, and he's probably going to be getting fairly close in terms of the items as well. Let's take a look at this. Death Knight did not end up getting a very powerful, where is the, yeah, there it goes. Very powerful item, Ring of Protection +3, not that useful. He's going to be heading back out. And in terms of experience, he's pretty much a little bit behind Happy right now. All right, there's the Death Coil. He actually, I take it back. He comes in with the steal. Death Coil Steel to take away Happy's last shot there. He does end up getting the item, that is Happy does, but he's unable to finish anything else off here. All right, look at the skeletal minions are just dropping like flies from the focus fire of those Crypt Fiends. You can see the Crypt Fiend was able to rejoin back in on the battle, since it was relatively close to home compared to this Crypt Fiend here. Yeah, I think the talks about WarCraft 3 Remastered, there was some talk about and discussion on whether or not it needs to be rebalanced before it was remastered. StarCraft remastery worked out extremely well because a lot of players felt that it was that it didn't need to be balanced. Death Knight now going to go ahead and get up to level 3. Does have a Sobi mask as well, so that's going to definitely help. Can he save that Crypt Fiend though? No, he does not. Death Coil level 2. Death Coil saves another low hit point Crypt Fiend there. And who actually is in a better spot here? Both sides with Crypt Fiends, Death Knights coming back either way, trying to put in that pressure. Level 3 Death Knight should have the advantage, but he is lower on hit points than his opponent. Ooh, an unfortunate ensnare by there, as we're going to be looking at more battle coming in, more Death Coils coming across from both sides. 141 versus 98. Very important to maintain your mana as a resource to see who is winning this overall fight. That 75 mana on this Death Knight is worth 400 hit points. Meanwhile, 75 mana on Happy's Death Knight is only worth, well, now worth 400 as well. So a lot of creeping going on here. And yeah, I really would like to see a WarCraft 3 remastered. I've been waiting for an announcement, waiting for something for so long. Haven't heard anything about it. And as you know, as I get older and my life stages change, I wonder, am I even going to be able to cast WarCraft 3 Remastered if it's going to be coming out, or will I have too much on my plate with all of my other responsibilities? So that is a possibility as well. I am, well, unfortunately, 61 hit points able to get away as the Death Knight continues that pressure here. But you're going to see the other opponent come in with that Death Knight. Death Knight down to, what, 36 hit points, down to 27. Scroll of Town Portal used just in time. Was it worth it? Picking up a second Sobi mask. And yeah, 2 Sobi masks. One is definitely going to be going on to the Lich, or what is he do Sobi masks stack? That the Death Knight is seeming to regenerate a lot of hit points, and you can also tell that the Death Knight is actually in a bit of trouble. Is he going to try and pick up what's it called? A Forest Troll Shadow Priest here to try to heal up that Death Knight. Death Knight is also benefiting from fighting on Blight right now. And you're going to take a look, level 3, level 1 going up against a level 3, level 1, as well as the Lich is being brought over. It has a Rod of Necromancy. No one yet has that Orb of Corruption, as we are not yet at Black Citadel. Yeah, rebuilding WarCraft 3 using the StarCraft 2 editor, I don't know if that's really the route that they want to go. There is some nuances in the game that you want to keep in there as well, in terms of rotation, spinnings, attacks, things of that nature that I don't know if they're actually part of the StarCraft 2 engine. Line of sight also works. Actually, no, line of sight works the same way in terms of not being able to see around trees and whatnot. So that's something that they could have in there as well. You can take a look. Lich is taking a lot of damage right now. It does have a potion of invulnerability, which will definitely help. Still surprised that it doesn't have a Sobi mask, and yeah, it takes a Death Coil right there to get to heal back up already. Now, all right, all of a sudden, Lich gets. Looks like he went on a shopping spree, picking up the Sobi mask, the Orb of Corruption, and Boots of Quell the Loss for extra armor. Now, Undead versus Undead. I guess both sides are just happy to do a lot of creeping. You can take a look on both sides here. One side, a Death Knight, is just going to go ahead and wander around the map, getting a lot of experience. So we're going to have a level 4, level 2 Lich going up against a level 4, level 2 Lich. Maybe, well, okay, sorry, I was off by 3 experience. Sorry, not sorry, I guess. Is that a Dark Ranger? Yeah, Dark Ranger also being picked up as well. So both sides with the same exact 3 heroes. As we're going to look, Dark Ranger with the Black Arrow, Lich with the Orb of Corruption. Just watching one of my casts from Thursday. Well, thank you. Thank you for tuning in here, as the Death Knight now joining in as well. Ogre Warrior going to go ahead and engage, chasing after all of these units. At some point, the Crypt Fiends could just turn around and attack that Ogre Warrior, get a little bit of experience more. Now, one of the things I like about Twisted Meadows in an Undead versus Undead matchup is the use of gargoyles to try and clear out those corner creep camps. Normally, these red dragons are rarely ever crept out because it's difficult to get there, it's expensive, the investment, all of that are possible reasons. But Undead players with their tri-hero openings, the Death Knight is already at level 4, but you can see that the Lich and the Dark Ranger are both sitting at level 1. They could go for a healthy dose of experience by clearing out the corners. What is going to be unfolding here? You can take a look. Undead now pushing across. Ooh, Amulet of Spell Shield sitting on Happy's Death Knight. That is going to perhaps make a big difference as, well, Frost Novas are just going to be absorbed. That is going to be something to keep track of there. As you can take a look, Ghouls now getting taken down. Obsidian statues are all here as well. 1 Ghoul down, 2 Ghoul down. 3 ghouls could get taken down as the skeletal minions are also going after here as well. What is going on? And no Scroll of Town Portal finally coming across now, and this was perhaps a bit of a mistake. As you can see, a quick silence onto that Lich. Is that Lich going to be able to survive? Does have a potion of invulnerability, is going to survive right there. Death Coil, Frost Nova trying to focus down some of those units. There goes a Crypt Fiend, and the home field advantage of the Black Citadel and the Nerubian Towers, if there are any, don't really see them right now, and could make a tremendous impact. Alright, Undead units dying a lot. Not quite sure how that works, as the Death Knight now going after more units here. Obsidian statues in the background getting taken down. And now we see Happy in a very both sides fighting on Blight. As he's trying to back up into the corner, make him so that you have to run past him in order to get away. Black Citadel gets a killing blow there, as both sides are just losing units left and right. I cannot tell who is winning out on this battle. 29 versus 36. As you can take a look, the Death Knight now coming back here. Dark Ranger could get taken down. If that Dark Ranger is lost, that will pretty much be the end of the deciding factor in this battle here, as the Dark Ranger still pulling back here. Both sides still engaging. No one with black arrows yet. 28 supply compared to 39. Wow. I love Candies. Even though he is blue up here, that is, remember, Happy, and Happy is currently ahead by a good 6 supply. All right, Amakado, nice to see you as well. It is Happy versus TBC BM. For those of you guys who just got here, does Undead? Yes. Blight affects all Undead units regardless of who owns the Blight, similar to how Creep affects movement speed of all Zerg units in StarCraft 2, regardless of who placed down that Creep. You can use your opponent's Creep to build buildings. You guys have all known that for, well, since the original StarCraft days, like Sunken Colony rushes and whatnot. All right, Johnny, I would assume a Ripper, now going to go ahead and continuing to watch, continuing to play all of this down. Rock Golem going to get cleared out. Death Knight wants to get to level 5. Thank you for tuning in from France. I guess this is the benefit of me casting at different times of the day. I get to see names that I don't normally see. I know some of you guys have followed me after I started streaming on Twitch as well, but never had the opportunity or chance to catch one of my streams. Maybe I'll do one more. I'm seeing a lot more names than I normally would, so maybe I'll try to do one more stream as well, since I don't get to get the joy of so many of these current viewers' company, even though there is, like, what, Back to WarCraft is streaming the 4v4 tournament. Alright, let's go ahead and break things down here. Ogre Magi, Ogre Warriors, all this getting cleared out. And the vast majority of the easily accessible creep camps have been cleared, or at least the main units have been taken out. We'll see how all of this is going to unfold here. Lich is sitting at level 3. Death Knight is still purposely staying back. I'm surprised he didn't want to get to level 5. Level 5 is extremely helpful. As everyone knows, level 3 Death Coils are make it pretty much that if the Death Knight has mana, then, well, it is pretty much endless. Also, Robe of Magi on top of that Lich with 480 mana with a Potion of Invulnerability, that is going to be a lot of dead Crypt Fiends. The Lich is most likely going to be focusing on units as opposed to other people's heroes. Can you see hi? Can you see hi so I can hear it? Hi, Mavericus? All right, yes, there, I'm saying hi. All right. as the Death Knight still wandering around here, going after some of the easier creep camps to get. All right, Abomination gonna go ahead and get cleared out. You can see this mercenary camp getting cleared out. An anti-magic shell being picked up by Happy. Happy also having a ring of regeneration on the Death Knight himself, so he's gonna be that much more difficult to take out. All right, Squirrel Town Portal now heading back home as you see a little bit of pressure there. Units are now backing off. As are we actually going to get a serious chase. I Love Candy's Happy now chasing after here. You can see those dark minions do deal a fair bit of damage as we see a Banshee going to get taken out. No destroyers though. That is always interesting. I always believe later on in Undead versus Undead matchup, destroyers are very powerful because you can start devouring the skeletal minions that are dropped down. All right. Crypt Fiend taking a lot of damage. Is it going to be able to escape? Very difficult. Are we going to see perhaps a Frost Nova turn back around in order to slow units down as, units getting caught in transit as we see a bunch of Dark Rituals right there, getting that Lich back up and getting that Lich back more mana. Who do you think is the best War 3 player of all time? That's too difficult. My favorite, I'm going to do it by race. Favorite Warcraft 3 player for human would probably be Sky. For Night Elf and Orc, if you guys don't know, I'm probably the same as many of you. Moon and Grubby. I mean, just the storied rivalry between them. But yeah, that's for another time. Battle now taking place. Lich getting silenced in the front line. Crypt Fiends in the back. Abominations in the front. Anti-magic shell in the front as well. Going back and forth here, and both sides are just, well, this is the day of the living dead, literally. Both sides having major armies, and they just seem to be coming back and becoming even very frequently. Death Knight sitting at the cusp of level 5. Meanwhile, this Death Knight sitting at the cusp of level 5. We are pretty much neck and neck. Oh, I forgot who my favorite Undead player was. It was a player who actually retired and then came back in after a long hiatus, and I think completely reinvented Undead about 3 years ago in the matchup, playing for like quick tier 2 pushes. If you go back 3 years, you might actually see this. Anyways, Undead now trying to rush inside this space here. Dark Ranger is in a strange spot as it needs to get away. Anti-magic shell is going to be an absolute problem as well. The Frost Novas are not going to be able to pretty much do anything. Let's see, Temple of Damned, more Banshees being added. Supply size is about the same. How did this guy level up? What could actually been possibly taken out there? Not 100% sure. Skeletal minions now just throwing themselves down. Was it Lucifer? I don't think it was Lucifer. I'll have to double check. I think he was famous for tier 2 pushes with yeah, I think it was WFZ. I'll have to double check later. I'll have to take a look at the videos. Anyways, anti-magic shell, you can take a look. Banshee gonna get saved right there. No possession as of yet from either side. Abominations have that anti-magic shell to protect from any sort of possession, but the Banshees are really the most important units on both sides. If you can keep your Banshees alive while taking out your opponent's Banshees, you have a serious advantage because, well, the Banshees can become any other unit. Death Knight still trying to engage back and forth here as we do see, well, an expansion coming in from Happy. Happy setting up that expansion. My apologies. It does, you don't see any red buildings there, so difficult to spot. But yes, Happy does have the expansion, and that is going to be a big issue. Units now dancing back and forth, trying to figure out where they are going to be. Banshees are here, ready to go. As we take a look, well, only adept training for the Banshees on one side. No sign of mastery training as of yet. So there is no chance or risk of possession right now as the Abominations are trying to figure out where they're going to be traveling to. Acolyte going to go ahead and start haunting this gold mine here in just a moment. No, are we going to get more Acolytes being trained up and transferred over? Not quite yet. Could a Banshee possess a Banshee? Yes, a Banshee can possess a Banshee. So you take your opponent's Banshee. Can destroyers absorb the shell? I believe... Is it like a dispel magic? I'm not 100% sure. I don't believe destroyers can actually absorb the shell, and because the destroyers, the devour magic isn't actually considered magic, so it doesn't actually absorb that damage, or it doesn't absorb the damage as it was to, say, deal damage to summoned units. So yeah, I believe that's how that works. I don't know, maybe if there was a WarCraft 3 scientist out there who would actually test all of these things, or if I had some opportunity to test all of them. But right now, both of them are just playing a game of chicken to see who's going to engage first. This is more of a back and forth trying to see who's going to be in the better position. But as you can see, with the 79 compared to 67 supply count and the economic advantage, Happy is the one in the better position. After all of this fighting back and forth, trying to get in position, it is the lack of scouting that TBCBM is going to end up suffering. He doesn't know that his opponent is mining twice as much gold as him, and because of that, he isn't trying to force a game. If you allow your opponent to just gather more and more resources and gain essentially what is a 7 gold per second advantage over you, you're going to end up having to fall. All right, that's taking back across over here. Haunted gold mine. One acolyte is off over here. Is the main gold mines nearly mined out? Yes, the main gold mines are nearly mined out. So we are going to be sitting fairly even in just a second. Some of these acolytes perhaps should be moving over there, perhaps adding some ziggurats as well for protection, as we're going to see both sides not wanting to get stuck in this narrow corridor. Essentially, this problem is whoever is in this corridor, they are fighting a larger surface area of units, and there is going to be more damage. You don't want to get stuck there. As you can take a look, a ghoul has already made its way over here, and this haunted gold mine has been spotted out. Back across here, this ghoul has spotted this acolyte as well, as the acolyte does need to get away. All right, perhaps sending an abomination or just one crypt fiend down over there should be enough in order to try and save this. Let's take a look. Units are backing off into their respective corners as another haunted gold mine is going to get underway off to the north. And there it goes. 5 acolytes sitting around a gold mine waiting for that building to be summoned. Excuse me, my allergies are really bothering me. Anyways, Death Knight gonna go ahead and... Oh, Death Knight not able to save that one Crypt Fiend there. You saw the Death Coil in transit, all of a sudden lost. And I think this is where TBCBM is just going to end up falling apart to Happy. Happy is in the better positioning here and able to push back. Hard to see whose units are whose. Everything just looks green at this point on a green background field. 50 supply compared to 85. Happy is just in a cruising mode. You're going to be able to like almost let go of the keyboard for a second and allow his units to do all of the necessary work. Almost a double supply in terms of the army, as the Death Knight still wandering around the corner there. You can see the anti-spell shield working such a great job, and there is the game. The ultimate, the resources being a major difference in the end. Gold lost to upkeep. He lost more to upkeep, but he was still able to produce more units. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will queue up one more game since I did get up to 12 viewers and a lot of guys that I didn't get to see.